In today's episode, we're going to be talking about dating sober. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of evidence, or not really unfortunately. I'm very happy being single at the moment. But anyway, I don't have a lot of evidence on this, okay? I haven't actually gone on any dates in sobriety. 0. I have been sober for 8 months, single for, I think, 6 months. Yeah. And I haven't gone on any dates. And I don't really want to right now. This is a topic for maybe later in this episode. But right now I'm so happy single. I used to think that people just said that because they were trying to make themselves feel better that they weren't in a relationship. But I actually am so happy single and focusing on myself for once in my life. I've been in relationships back to back to back. And taking time for myself and becoming the best version of me has been wonderful. It's been an amazing experience, and I'm so glad that I'm doing it. But I do want to talk about what it will be like to date sober, kind of my fears around that, and just kind of bounce some ideas off of you guys. It's going to be a first for me. I've experienced a lot of firsts in sobriety. Dating will be a new first that I haven't yet experienced in my first 8 months of sobriety. So let's get into the episode. Welcome to Hold My Drink, a sobriety podcast. This is a no judgment zone. I really freaking like my life without alcohol. You're not alone. I hope you feel seen. Sobriety has changed my life completely. So I think back to my dating in the past, and usually I meet people out and about. I haven't met any of my boyfriends like on an app or anything, and alcohol is always involved. My first boyfriend I met because we were at a party and we were drinking. My second boyfriend I met working at a bar where I was typically drinking on the job because I was a waitress and they encouraged us to drink on the job. That was a crazy bar. And then my third boyfriend I met on a softball team where we were usually drinking. So not only do you meet these people when you're drinking and kind of get that first instant flirtation kind of because of alcohol, but then I think about the first date or the first kiss or things like that. And I've always been drinking for those too. And that sounds kind of sad, especially now as a sober person. I look back and I'm like, wow, all those special moments, all those significant moments I've been drinking for, which is kind of unfortunate. And then it makes me a little bit happy because I think about my future husband that I meet. Our first kiss will be sober. Our first I love you will be sober. Our first date will be sober. And that is really exciting to me. Whoever I end up with, whoever I meet, will date me as a sober person. Oh my God, I haven't really thought about that before. And that's so special. I'm going to remember our wedding day fully because I'm not going to be drunk on the wedding night. I'm going to be sober. And I hope that the person I end up with will accept my sobriety, love me for it, understand why I do it, and just love that he gets to experience me as my full self and not an altered version of myself because of alcohol use. So I think about the person I'm dating and their alcohol habits. And it's interesting because I still like to go out. I still do things that drinking people do. I like to go to bars. I like to go to Mardi Gras, where a lot of people are drinking. I like to party at weddings and dance all night long. Like, that's just me. Not all sober people are like that, but I like continuing the same life that I had before, just with non-alcoholic beverages instead of alcoholic beverages. That's the only change, pretty much. The other change is that I understand what is actually boring and not fun, and alcohol is the only thing making it fun. So I don't do those activities as much, like boring, same old activities that were only fun with alcohol. I don't do those in sobriety. But stuff that is fun, like dancing on the dance floor, playing pool at the bar, that type of stuff, those types of things I still do in sobriety. I just do them without alcohol. So anyway, the person that I'm dating, I don't need them to be sober. I understand why a sober person might seek out another sober person. Because you're on the same page, you don't have any temptations, all that stuff. But I personally don't mind if my future partner drinks. In fact, I'm not going to say that I want them to drink, but I really wouldn't mind at all if they drink, because that means that we still go out for happy hours, like we go to bars. I feel like the overwhelming majority of sober people don't like to go out to bars. Makes sense because bars are surrounded with drinking. A lot of people had problems with their drinking when it came to going out. Like their style of drinking was going out, getting blacked out, misbehaving. And so going into those environments is uncomfortable for a lot of sober people. And I totally understand that. But for me, my problem was more rooted in the drinking alone at home situation. And when I go out to social events, I'm not as tempted. That's not where I had a problem. I still go to those venues. I frequent bars and I really enjoy it. And so part of me thinks that if I was with a sober person, they wouldn't like to do that stuff. And there's plenty of other stuff to do, obviously. It wouldn't be the end of the world, for God's sake. I would totally date a sober person. No problem. It'd be awesome. But I like the idea of still being able to do all the fun, crazy, wild things that I liked to do in my drinking days, just without alcohol. Simple as that. And I like to meet my family for happy hours after work. And I like to go out to the Irish pub on St. Patrick's Day. Like, I enjoy doing all that stuff. And so I would want my partner, ideally, to be down to do that stuff with me and go have a work sesh at the bar down the street during happy hour. Like, and typically people who enjoy doing that stuff are people who drink rather than people who don't drink. Just, statistically, most people in a bar are going to be drinkers. And so, yeah, I would embrace the fact that my partner drinks. I think that's awesome. We'll get to do some activities. It also, okay, now this is just a straight up embarrassing confession, but I feel like if I'm not getting lubricated by alcohol and in those early stages of dating, I'm not being loosened up at all by alcohol, maybe they are a little bit. So it'll be as if we both are. That sounds so bad, but some of this stuff with dating freaks me out now being a sober person. Like the idea of flirting with somebody or giving them the eyes or kissing or whatever. That all seems so awkward and I'm scared for that in sobriety. So part of me is thinking, oh, well, if they're a drinker, then maybe it'll take some of the edge off of that situation for us as a team. I don't know. That sounds bad, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't really care if they drink or don't drink. I just hope that we have similar interests. And since I like to go out and do fun things, I hope that they still like to go out and do fun things, whether they drink or not. Now, somebody that I would not be interested in dating is somebody who has an alcohol problem. I don't think that would be good for me to see that in my life, in such close proximity, the person that I'm dating. Yeah, so if they're drinking like I was, 10 beers a night by themselves at home, not getting motivated, not doing anything for themselves or their life, if they're going out and partying every day with the boys, drinking like a frat dude, I'm not interested. So there's a balance there. I don't want to drink somebody who has a problem. I don't want to drink somebody. I don't want to date somebody who has a problem with alcohol, but I would totally date somebody who drinks in a responsible way. And additionally, I would drink. Why do I keep saying I would drink? Blah, blah, blah. I would date somebody who doesn't drink also. I would date another sober person. I just hope that they're chill about it. I don't know. I have no judgment towards anybody who is sober because we all do it in our own way. Some of us have to be really strict with it, and that's our entire identity, and we don't do things that we did before, and we cut off friends that were our drinking friends. Some people do sobriety like that, and some people like myself literally just removed the alcohol portion and pretty much kept everything else the same. Yeah, so in the person that I date, I don't know. I probably wouldn't go for somebody who is so into the sobriety where they don't go anywhere near places that are associated with alcohol. I would hope that I could date somebody who is okay going to those places is what I'm saying. So anyway, let's get back to my nerves with the early dating situation. Okay, there was pretty much one single guy at the wedding that I went to recently. I guess I'm getting to the age where everybody is booed up, and there were probably 3 single people at the whole freaking wedding. And there was one kind of handsome single guy at the wedding. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, good looking, nice guy, obviously vetted by friends. He's in my best friend's friend circle in the town where she lives. I was like, oh, this could be interesting. And I guess this is how you know that I'm just simply not ready for dating, but I couldn't even see him in that way because I'm so focused on myself right now. I'm not ready yet. And that's fine. I am so focused on my own health, my own career goals. I've changed cities. I've gotten single. I've quit my job. I'm changing careers. Like, I'm starting this podcast. I'm doing so many different things for myself that I'm just not in a place where I can even think about bringing another human into my life. And by the way, considering my previous dating history, the next person I date will have to add to my life. I'm not going to be with somebody who brings me down. End of. Because I'm a good person on my own. I like who I am. I like hanging out with myself. I have a great family, a few amazing friends who I love and keep in touch with. The person that I bring into my life as a romantic partner will have to bring me up, and that's it. They either got to match my energy or bring me up. They're not going to bring me down. I'm not going to tolerate that anymore. I don't want my light to be dulled by somebody else. I only want to shine brighter. And the person that I bring into my life will have to do that, or at least match my energy. I'm not going to be pulled down by my partner. Period. Okay, so what I was saying with the I keep bouncing around this topic, but the nervousness around that early flirtation. I mean, it's hard for me to, hopefully the sober people can relate to this, but it's hard for me to gauge like when it's flirtation and when we're just talking. I think that's partially because I've been in a relationship so long that I don't even know what flirting really is. I kind of forgot how to do that. And then it's like almost hard to tell if they're flirting with me or if we're just talking. Like, it's all confusing. And when alcohol was involved, I was flirty. I was like, touchy with people and able to like give a little smirk. And I think people would know when I'm interested. And now maybe it's due to the fact that I'm not ready, and maybe it's due to the fact that there's not alcohol in my system and I'm adjusting. But I'm not really given those flirty looks or in that flirty mode. I mean, at this stage, if somebody was going to accidentally walk into my life, they would have to pursue me pretty hard because I'm just like a deer in the headlights when it comes to flirtation. I'm like, are they flirting? I don't even know what's going on. It's like I don't even recognize that there's a flirtatious energy happening. It's weird. And yeah, like I said, I think that's highly due to the fact that I'm like so closed off right now. But they say that's when it always happens, is when you're least expecting it, least ready for it. And here I am, not ready. So where are you, Mr. Right? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so dating is going to be interesting. I signed up for some dating apps right at the beginning of when I moved to this new city and was kind of newly single, basically just to look around and make myself feel good, which is horrible. That's not why you should get on the dating apps. You should get on the dating apps because you want to meet somebody in person and actually go on a date and find your lover, your person, your partner. And I was going on just for like self-validation and to look around, see what's out there. No, that's not going to work. So I was on the dating apps for maybe a week, and then I deleted them all. Goodbye. I just had Hinge, I believe. And I deleted it after a week because I was like, what am I doing on here? I'm not actually interested in pursuing a relationship. If one falls into my lap, okay, I'll explore that. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But I'm not actively looking to date. And I don't want to put myself out there and kind of like disappoint the people that are on there who are seriously looking for somebody. I don't want to go down that road and then be like, actually, I'm still working on myself. Sorry, bye. I feel like in general, guys get a bad rap for doing that. But I was kind of doing that. So I deleted the apps. Self-awareness, baby. I was like, I'm not ready. So I deleted them. And I don't think I'm going to get back on because I just feel like my person is out there and I'm going to meet them in real life. I just feel that way. And I also think that the topic of sobriety and the fact that I am sober is kind of intimidating to tell somebody like on a dating app before you even meet in real life. Or putting that label on yourself. Like on Hinge, they have all those tabs that say like, yes, you drink. No, you don't drink. Yes, you smoke. No, you don't smoke. I'm religious. I'm this political preference, So they have all these filters. And I don't really want to put on there right on my home page, they're getting to know me as a person and they see that I'm sober. Because yes, sobriety is a big part of my life. I have a podcast about it, for God's sake. It's obviously important to me and my journey. But am I defined by my sobriety? No. And I don't think that I don't know. I connect with the sober community in so many ways. In fact, the online sober community that I have found has been like my rock and the thing that keeps me going. And I love connecting with all you guys. But like I said earlier, we all get sober for different reasons. We all behave differently in sobriety. And I think a lot of times sobriety is tied with sitting at home and being a bit boring, and you don't go out and you don't do fun things, which is not true, first of all. Anybody out there who doesn't like to party in sobriety, I understand that fully. And sitting at home or doing your grocery shopping or watching a show, I love doing all that stuff too. I'm not a huge going out person. Just on occasion, I do like to go dance and party and woohoo, even in sobriety. So all I'm trying to say is plastering the fact that I'm sober on my dating apps, it gives an impression right away. It's kind of like having a bumper sticker on your car. It's like you get into a fender bender and they're already coming in with some opinion of you. And I don't necessarily want people to have that opinion of me. I'm just being honest here. Like, sobriety is important to me. I'm passionate about it, and I'm not afraid to say that I'm sober. I'm not. But on a dating app, I don't want them to go into viewing me as a human being through the lens of she's sober right away. I feel like putting that I am sober on a dating app would attract the right people, but it would also turn away some of the people who might be right for me. And I know what you're thinking. The right person would not literally skip by me because it says that I don't drink. I mean, even when I was a drinker, I wouldn't skip somebody if they didn't drink. Actually, maybe I would have. And that makes me a bad person. Or I was a bad person. Like, I probably would have skipped somebody who doesn't drink because they would judge me for drinking. But do you see what I'm saying? I don't judge people who drink. So they're probably scrolling on there and they think that somebody who plasters on their dating profile that they don't drink, they are going to judge them for having a drink at the bar when we go out. Like, I won't judge you. And so I don't want people to go into my profile assuming that I'm going to judge them for drinking, because I'm not. That was a little bit all over the place, but I hope you get what I'm saying. Like, right now, it's not something that I need people to know about me from square one. And I think that's why it's really cool when you meet people in the wild, is because I'm not walking around with a sign on my head that says I'm sober. In fact, I've hung out with people multiple times and they find out on like the third or fourth time that we hang out that I don't drink in like these group environments. They see me hanging out with everybody else. They see me holding a drink. It's probably a non-alcoholic beer or a soda or something. And they just assume that I'm drinking attending these events, even though I've been sober the whole time. And then they find out on the third time that we are together that, oh, I don't drink at all. And I haven't drank for quite a while, 8 months. In my personal journey, I would prefer it to be that way. That they get to know me as a human being, my likes, my dislikes, my humor, my interests, I don't know, just like my spark. I want them to get to know me as a soul. And then they find out that I happen to not drink alcohol. I don't want that to be like at the forefront of me in the dating world, if that makes sense. And that's why I really think that I'm going to meet my guy out in the wild, because we're just going to get to know each other in some casual setting through friends at a golf tournament. Wink, wink. I hope that I end up with a golfer, please. If you're out there, come find me. No, just kidding. But anyway, yes, I think I want to meet my person out in the wild. I hope I do meet them out in the wild, because that's how you really connect with somebody's vibe. Like, there's just something to looking in somebody's eyes, seeing through to their soul, seeing how they treat other people, seeing how they walk, seeing how they talk. Like, you can just tell a lot about a person when you see them in person. And on a dating app, like, we judge people too quickly. They judge us too quickly. You might be filtering so many things that your perfect person doesn't even pop up on the dating app because you've listed that you don't want to date this type of person or that type of person. So I would love to meet my person out in the wild. And I hope that if we meet through friends or out at an event or whatever, it's like we've already gotten to know each other, getting each other's vibes, seeing each other's eyes, seeing through to the soul, seeing their vibes, seeing how they treat other people. I just think that that's how it's probably going to happen for me. And yeah, when you plaster on the internet, on a dating app, that you don't like this and don't like that and are looking for that, like, you might not find the right person. They're going to not like you, or you're going to not like them on the dating app. When if you met in real life, they might fall in love with you as a human being and not care about these few things that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. So I'm really nervous today. I'm nervous to go on a first date without alcohol. Like, I don't think I've ever been on a first date that doesn't involve booze. So it'll be interesting, but I also think it'll be extra, extra special because they're getting to know me for the real, true me, unaffected by alcohol. And that is super special. So sober dating, it'll be interesting. If you have experience in it, please give me some tips. Give me all the advice because I am nervous as heck, but also excited to meet my forever person in sobriety. I think it'll be really special. So thanks for tuning in. We have episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, plus I sometimes throw in random ones all over the weekend. So tune in, continue to check the page. There's usually a new episode out probably when you're checking. So stay tuned for more, and I'll see you for the next episode. Bye.